Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, you can clearly see there's a perspective thingy on my paper. And I'm just going to try to draw a bunch of boxes in perspective. I am, however, going to lightly erase these lines so they're not as prominent. But this isn't going very well because it's the entire paper. But I have never really used these before. I have used them before, like the lines, but I don't really know how to use them. It might seem stupid. If I am stupid, I genuinely don't know. But we're just going to try to draw some boxes today. Alright, let's go ahead and try to... Let's start with one right here. We're going to make it one tile long. It'll be that long. That long. Should have made it curved that way. I don't know what I'm doing. We need to make the lines go up. Lines go up. And then follow that line. Follow that line. What a beautiful square this is. Yep. This is looking good. This is a very good first thing to draw. Alright, we're gonna ignore that car. And we're gonna try drawing one over here. I don't know how to use these lines. I wish I would have paid attention. Attention to what? I don't know. Should have looked up how to use them. Doesn't matter. Too late to do that now. So we're just gonna try and draw some squares. I'll go like that. That's looking better. This one's a rectangle. It really doesn't matter if it's a square or a rectangle. They're both gonna achieve the exact same thing. Go ahead and draw that line. And get that one in here. And we're gonna pause this real quick. Alrighty, we're back. Okie dokie. Let's try drawing one right here. This time we're drawing the underside of a square instead of the top side. This one's looking kind of weird, but also kind of good. That one makes more sense. Like it looks more like a square. I feel like I do better with these squares when I'm not following these guidelines though. Or I feel like I draw squares better not following these. I don't know. These all kind of look bad. Wonder why. It's almost as if I don't know what I'm doing. Definitely need to draw more boxes. I had an idea for a video where the video is just, they draw 1,000 boxes. Obviously on my tablet, not on paper, because that would use a lot of pages. I feel like I'm just doing this wrong. I'm not really paying attention to where I'm putting the lines. I'm trying to just use these lines, but that makes it wrong. How did I make that line so curved? That one's bad, so we exit out. If something's really bad, you exit out. Why? I don't know, that's just what I do. Let's try drawing the initial box first. We'll draw a box and then we'll use the perspective lines to make it perspective. If that makes sense. Do that. Do that. Yeah, that looks good. It's not perfect or anything, but it's better. Try to do it again. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Then this is just gonna go right there. This will just go right there. There you go. Doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look amazing. We'll try it right here. Box. 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 Yeah, it's not looking bad anymore. I think I was just doing it wrong. Am I supposed to draw them straight or am I supposed to draw them in line with these perspective lines? I really don't know. We'll try this. And I forgot to draw the connecting line right there, but that's fine. And then we'll draw this one. And we'll draw that. And that doesn't look terrible either. Now, what else? Should we try to draw like a really tiny one? Perfect. That's bad. That one wasn't terrible, it wasn't good. Alright, is this like still the same even though this is upside down? I think it still is, right? Yeah, probably. Should we draw one directly on the side over here? What the fuck is that? I have no idea. I have both my fan on and my window open, so there's probably a lot of background noise in this video. But I do not care because it is so goddamn hot in here. You're just gonna deal with it if you're watching this. Go. Looking good. Looking pretty swell. Looking pretty nice. Looking pretty awesome sauceum. That looks decent. That's not terrible. Should I try to draw a cylinder in perspective? I mean, I don't think that would be too hard, right? Just kind of like this. Wow. Amazing. Beautiful. Draw some more circles on it, too. I don't know. Definitely could have done a more complicated video today. Like where I actually draw a character like I normally do. I just did not want to today, so I didn't. Just doing this. Don't feel like drawing any characters today, so I'm just gonna practice drawing boxes, circles, spheres, cylinders, all that. Because I figure that's still probably good. got it on 2 perspective lines at once. Holy shit, that's pretty crazy. But we still didn't connect it to that one. That's pretty crazy. And we're gonna shade this too. Why? I don't know. It's the bottom. Gotta shade it. If this would be shaded, then all of this would be shaded then, but we're just gonna ignore that fact. Or not all of this, but these parts would probably also be shaded. But we're just gonna ignore that. Because I can. Because I'm the one drawing it. You're not drawing it, I'm drawing it. I can ignore whatever I want. Then draw myself the rest of it. I think I drew that wrong. I don't know, but it looks wrong. Yeah, looks wrong because I did it wrong, but I'm not gonna fix it because I drew it wrong from the beginning because I did a little bit of a whoopsie, but we're just gonna ignore that whoopsie, pretend like it never happened, because we can. I can do whatever I want. These are my drawings. Alright. Got this. And then we're going to cut it really short. Just for the sake of not putting it onto that other one. Yeah, I don't know why I made that part so long. What was I expecting it to reach? Or like be that long? Just lightly erase it. Alright, I got a lot of boxes. Is this enough boxes for me to call it quits? No, because this page is still pretty big. There's still a lot more left on this page. You know, don't want to just waste an entire page. That's wasteful, and we don't waste here. Except for we do, a lot. But we're gonna pretend like we don't. Pretend like we're better people. I can pretend like I'm the bestest person ever on here. You wouldn't know. You don't have any proof otherwise. Alright. I don't know why I'm drawing like the same exact rectangle every single time. Try and make a square. Make it square shaped. Didn't really do a good job there. Let's put one right here. Square, 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 square. Yeah, that looks bad, but we're gonna ignore it. Should I draw another cylinder, except like in one of the big areas? How would I even do that? Cylinder. 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 This is bad. representation of a cylinder because I'm only doing like one loop. So it's not a very good circle. Nor is it very good perspectiveness either, but you know, whatever. Still suck at drawing cylinders. I can draw 1,000 cylinders too, just like I was gonna draw 1,000 squares. I'll draw 1,000 squares, 1,000 spheres, 1,000 cylinders. Who's gonna stop me? Nobody. Except for myself. Because what the fuck am I gonna... Why would I draw 1,000 spheres? I can already draw a circle well enough. I'm not trying to draw those as circles, but I can draw a circle well enough. I guess I don't know how to shade a sphere, so it could just be 1,000 me practicing how to shade a sphere. That would also work, so yeah, I could do that. I don't see any reason why not if I'm already gonna do 1,000 squares. 1,000 squares, 1,000. I shouldn't have done that. Because now that doesn't look like it's gonna be perspectived. Or it looks like it's gonna be at a different perspective. Because the lines are off now. We're just gonna... disobey that perspective, or the perspective lines. Disobey them. Books. We're just gonna ignore that one. Just cross that out with darker lines, because it's much worse. Darker the lines of the cross out, the worse it is. The lighter the lines, the less bad it is. If there's only one cross, it's not that bad at all, but it still wasn't ideal. If it's fully scribbled out, what the f did I do? I never fully scribble out my drawings, even if I really don't like how it turned out. I don't scribble it out, because like, you can still look at what you did wrong in your drawing. That's why I really only do like a cross, because then I know, yeah, I didn't like that one. But then I can look at it and see, what's wrong with this? The lines aren't at the same angle. I didn't converge these correctly. There's absolutely no backing to this. Like, you can see what you did wrong if you don't fully cross it out. Or if you don't fully scribble it out. You know, I had the idea to make an animation a long time ago with these perspective lines just to practice drawing squares, where it's literally just like a square right here just going whoop. Just make it bigger in the perspective just to practice drawing squares. I think I might do that too. It can be part of the drawing 1,000 squares. And if you're wondering why 1,000 instead of like 100, if you draw 100 squares, it's going to take you, if you draw 1 square a second, that is only a little over a minute and a half. We're going to round down to a minute and a half just because easier math. But if you were to do, so if you were to do 100 squares, 1 second per, it's about a minute and a half. But if you were to do 1,000 squares, then that's a lot more. It's like 15-ish minutes, which is a lot more minutes. So that means it would take longer. Except for each square would probably actually take me, I don't know, maybe like 10 seconds each I could give each square, maybe 20. So I'm not doing the math for that, but it would take longer than what I was saying. Also, never mind. I don't feel like doing the math. I was gonna start doing math. I don't want to do math. Yep, we're gonna pretend like that's a good square. Exquisite. I don't know. I'm gonna draw one more right here, and then I think I'm gonna call it Quizzos for drawing the squares, and go draw squares on my tablet, and some cylinders, and some other shit. I think the squares definitely started looking much better once I realized how the hell I'm actually supposed to draw these on a perspective grid. But I lied. I still don't really know what I'm doing though. But I need to be able to draw squares. Because if you can draw a square in any angle, any perspective, and you can draw a cylinder in any angle and any perspective, well, you can draw most things. Because, well, why not? That's how it works. Most things can be built with squares and circles and cylinders. Alright, yeah, we're gonna call this quits. They look fine. Definitely not the best squares and cylinders and shit that I've ever drawn, but they look fine. Good day. See you tomorrow.